So, Michael, 7 suspects are expected to be arrested by the end of the day, 2 still outstanding.
Yeah, it's 3 of the 7 that certainly ring a bell if you've been watching the state capture inquiry, as so many people have. One man, you don't have to cast your mind back too far to remember who he is, Edwin Sodi. He was the director of Blackhead Consulting that got this 255 million rand tender Viwe has been speaking about. And it was to identify and eradicate asbestos in the Free State. It was about 36,000 homes. And that was in 2014. 6 years later, the asbestos remains in the roof. So what on earth did they do is the question. And stemming from this 255 million rand, who got their piece of the pie? And this is where 2 government officials who we know have been arrested. Tabane Zulu. He was the former National Human Settlements Director General. He received 600,000 rand payment for a very nice Range Rover. Now, none of these payments are ever direct. There's always a middleman somewhere. So there is a 600,000 rand payment to SMD Trading by Mr. Sodi. Who goes to pick up the car? Mr. Tabane Zulu. He doesn't deny this. He said he wasn't able to raise the money, but it raises all sorts of questions when, if you receive this tender in 2014 and payments are coming in 10 tranches over 2 years, in 2015, on the 22nd of December, you are still, in effect, getting money and reliant on government for that 255 million rand. So the HOD of Human Settlements, a project you're busy implementing a tender on, that would be considered a conflict of interest. He tried to explain that away. Tabane Zulu saying the 600,000 rand that he received from Mr. Sodi was for a commercial venture that he has called TZ Lounge, Tabane Zulu Lounge. It's a club bar in Pietermaritzburg, and he says that Mr. Sodi rang up a 600,000 rand bar tab. Let that sink in. Let's move on to the last person we can speak about, Tim Mokesi, and Tumotse Mokesi. He was on the stand on Monday, also not too far back in the memory bank. He received 650,000 rand via a family trust. Once again, there's no direct link. Mr. Mokesi is the HOD of Human Settlements in the Free State, instrumental in awarding this tender to Blackhead Consulting. That's where he fits in. In 2015, once again, just a year after getting the tender, 650,000 rand is paid by Mr. Sodi into a family trust in which Mr. Mokesi is the beneficiary. It's described as a commercial joint venture in which there should be benefit for both sides. But all that ended up happening was Mr. Mokesi lived in the very house that this 1.65 million rand, the 650,000 rand, helped him buy. He stayed there rent-free, yet wouldn't say that that constituted a benefit for him, which was interesting. The Hawks were obviously watching this very closely. As my colleague Aviwe Mtile says, 5 arrested, 2 more expected by the end of the day.
Michael, do we know who those 2 last people are that police are currently trying to round up?
We don't. I did listen to Hangwani Mulawutsi saying that there must have been a tip-off. They went to arrest them. The people were not there. They are on the run, on the lam, so to speak. But they know where they are and they're busy tracking them down. As soon as we know for sure who these people are, we'll see where they fit into the puzzle.
Michael, there must be a number of senior politicians getting relatively nervous across the country today after they've been repeatedly implicated in testimony from various role players at state capture and who are, by various threads, linked to this 255 million rand project in the Free State. Certainly.
So let's just look at what previous witnesses have said. One of them was the former MEC for Economic Development in the Free State, Mxolisi Dukwana. He said, and he presented a spreadsheet to the Commission with various initials on it. And he claimed there that TZ, Tabane Zulu, got 10 million rand from this asbestos tender. The inquiry wasn't able to confirm this, but they were able to find that 600,000 rand payment for the Range Rover. But Mr. Dukwana says that there's a lot more money that was paid to certain individuals. He also then references Ace Magashule. He called him the blesser of the Free State. So the current Secretary General of the ANC, named by Mr. Dukwana, no love lost between the 2 of them there, as potential payments. Peter Louis Myburgh's book, Gangster State, It's Mr. 10%, Ace Magashule. That's what he's known as. So potentially, if Peter Louis Myberg's book is correct, at least 10% of this should have gone to AM, the initials for Ace Magashule. So those are the allegations, and there certainly are a lot more senior politicians who should be pretty worried right now after the arrests this morning.
Well, thank you very much. That was our reporter, Michael Appel.